We got the Dodge Ram truck back here. What we're gonna do today, a little bit of CV axle work. I'll show you what's going on with this girl and why we're doing this. Kind of sucks. We just oil sprayed this truck, so we're pretty coated, but so if you look at the CV axle here, what these are bad for doing on these Dodge Ram 1500s is they'll start to get clay in the splines there, and you'll hear it as I grab this and move it. That's because it's moving on the splines right now. So what my goal is, I'm hoping that, because we're in an early stage, because the customer said he didn't feel it, I just caught it when I was giving the truck a look at, that if we put a new axle on now, we won't have to put the inner shaft at this point. But we'll see when we get it all apart how she looks and go from there. And yeah. Hear that as I shake that axle. So yeah, let's see if we can just put a new axle in there, and hopefully the splines on the front diff aren't pretty messed up, and life will be great. Okay, now got the axle shaft out. This Dodge truck. So what we had to do to get her out was get the brake caliper off and rotor off, undo my axle nut. That was a bit of a chore. Undo the tie rod, pop it out, and undo the upper ball joint, pop it out. And I was able to pop that end of the axle off the diff, and then it felt like, you know, pop it out, it just goes whoop and then down, and then that allowed me to give me the room I needed to push this end out then, and then axle out. Not a big deal. So when I look at it, it looks like these splines in here are kind of starting to wear. They're not the greatest. They're, you know, they're still pretty good compared to a lot of trucks, but you can see they're just starting to kind of get a little So what we're gonna do is got the new axle here. Before I completely take it out and install it, I'm just gonna clean it all up nice, put a little bit of grease on there, click it on, and then see how it sits in there and play with it. And if it's no good, we're gonna pull it out. We're gonna put the used axle back in the truck for now, and then I'll get my customer, he's gonna have to order the jack shafts or the little shafts in the diff, these little guys. So we'll see how it goes. Well, we ran into a bit of a dilemma here with the parts. I clicked it in and it worked good. So I pulled it back off, pulled it out of the bag to do an installation, and I noticed a little shorter. Just a little bit shorter. So that means this one's probably for a lifted truck application. Maybe somebody changed it out at one point and they put a leveling kit in there. I know there's some sort of a spacer they put in there to help compensate with the plow weight, but let's try the next axle. Okay, now it's the next day. We got the, looks to be the correct axle lengthwise. I haven't seen one yet here with there, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe hopefully it's an upgrade. That's the part nutter of the guy that we're going to use best job on this truck. One thing we're going to do with this truck is we're going to, and you see the lug nuts right there on the taper before we put the lugs on. And then that'll hopefully keep the wheel lug nut from sticking the next time. Pretty much anything modern that's Dodge with the aluminum wheels, that's a common problem. Caravans, the cars, the trucks, doesn't matter. So hopefully that'll help for next time. I would say that's way better. Still just a tiny little bit of play there, but I think that's a little bit's okay with these. We did the other side too. That one we put a new stub shaft in also. So yeah, hopefully this thing will last a little bit now for them. It wasn't real bad. So a lot of these get real bad when they've been driven on for a long time. So we're kind of catching it at the early stage. This thing's a plow truck too, so it'll just, the axles ain't gonna really like life at all. But yeah,